Mako's Makan Adventure, coming today from Block 19 in Marsiling. We're going to be having the uniquely Singaporean dish of Yong Tau Foo, fish paste in an assortment of vegetables and tofu. Stay tuned for bonus footage at the end of this video. Hello and welcome to another episode of Mako's Makan Adventure. We're here today at Block 19 in Marsiling and we are going to be sampling some Yong Tau Foo from this stand right here. So I'm joined again by Chang. Hi Chang, how's it going?
Hello Kai. We are having Yong Tau Foo and I'm having Yong Tau Foo dry, where we have the noodles and then we have the soup separately being served.
So Chang has the separate noodles and the soup, whereas I've gone for the curry Yong Tau Foo. What this is, it's more of a laksa base. So you've got that coconut laksa base with plenty of sambal and a few crispy onions on the top. Let's dig in.
Yes, good. So usually for mine, I will have some sort of tomato sauce and sauce and spring onion. Then we mix it up all together, and that is my dish.
So what sauce do you have on top there, Chang?
Some sort of tomato sauce.
It's a tomato-based sauce.
Yeah. And some chili, some soya sauce, and then there are some spring onions on top of it.
I notice your noodles there is a mixture of bihun and kway-teow, or is it? It's kway-teow.
Yes.
So you've got your dry noodle there with your tomato sauce, and then you've got your Yong Tau Foo. What is Yong Tau Foo, Chang?
Actually, it's sort of fish paste in various ingredients like bitter gourd and in this form, and tofu. We just put the ingredient of the fish paste inside.
So it's fish paste and a vegetable or tofu,
yes.
And it's all brought together in one.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, let's dig in and give it a go. I'm going to go straight in. So I've got yellow noodles today with my laksa sauce. I'm going to go for that laksa base first. And Trav, I can see there's little red oily bits there. And it's spicy. It's spicy as we expected because we are eating Singaporean food. But yeah, nice and rich. It's a really rich coconut-based broth. And if I grab some of the yellow noodles as well, my chopstick game is poor at the moment. I can see I'm struggling, but the yellow noodles and that coconut-based broth go fantastic together. That is piping hot. It's so hot, and it's oily. It's really spicy, but the noodles go really well with it. On top, I've got these little bits of crispy shallots or crispy onions, and they give a real nice crunch that goes with it. And of course, drizzled all over because it's in every food here in Singapore, whether it's Chinese or Malay. We've got sambal. So. And it's a spicy sambal. It's not too fishy, this one. Not too fishy, not too sweet, but a nice warming chili. I'm going to go for this one. This one here, is this bitter gourd?
Bitter gourd with fish paste inside.
So this bitter gourd is a vegetable which, oh wow, that sambal's getting to me now. Bitter gourd is a vegetable which is abundant here in Southeast Asia. It's a long, almost cucumber-looking, prickly vegetable, and it's quite peculiar in its taste, and this has been filled with fish paste. So you've got the bitterness of the bitter gourd, hence bitter gourd. Really bitter, so bitter. And then inside we can see we've got this fish paste. And that almost offsets that flavour. So I've got that bitter gourd flavour on the outside of it, but as I get into the fish paste, it mellows out a little bit. It mellows it out.
I have tofu with the fish paste, which is just nice in the name of Yong Tau Foo. You should have a tofu inside.
You should have tofu inside. What's this one here? I mean, so I'm going to get a mixture of all of them. Is this a... So this one here is that fried bean curd skin?
Right with skin, and then they have a fish paste inside also.
So again, the fish paste is inside. Everything is filled with fish paste.
Yes.
Okay. So it's fried, so we've got that nice crispiness, and again, inside we've got that fish paste, which is, again, it's nice, got a nice flavour to it, and when you bring in that curry sauce as well, that curry broth, it's lovely. So I'm going to grab a bit of the noodles now and a bit of the broth. Well, if I can get the noodles,
You do it slowly.
I do it slowly, yeah. What do you think of my chopstick skills?
Manageable?
Manageable. Is that you being polite? Are you being polite?
No,
Okay.
it's okay.
Okay.
As long as I can pick up your
Ah,
noodles.
as long as I can eat it. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to grab some of the broth. And as it all gets mixed together, I've got a bit of the broth there, a bit of bean sprout, and then the crispiness of those fried shallots. There's layers of flavour, but also layers of different textures as well. The Yong Tau Foo and the bean curd is very soft. You've got a nice vegetable crunch from the bean sprouts, and then the fried shallots come in and they're nice and crispy as well. Whereas yours is just completely different. I mean, do you have the shallots in there or?
I have also, and then I mix it up, and every mouthful you have a taste of the shallot, and it makes you have the fragrance coming out from your mouth.
The fragrance comes
yeah.
from the sauces, the vegetables, the shallots.
Soup, and they have a nice clear pot, and they have vegetable, they have fish paste in the white skin, and they have a fish paste in a form of fish ball, and they have a tau pok.
So tau pok, what is tau pok?
It's another squarish type of another version of beans.
Beans.
Yeah. So they make it into a squarish form, and they put the fish paste inside it.
Again, it's fish paste in all of it.
Okay?
But I noticed you don't have any chili in here. There's no sambal.
Oh, because this is in soup form, we don't have the chili.
You don't add the chili to the soup.
I can have my chili onto my noodles in a dry form.
So would this, I don't know, would this be a healthier version? You've got your vegetables, you've got this.
Less cholesterol.
Less cholesterol than the creamy coconut milk version. So, Yong Tau Foo, Block 19 in Marsiling. So mine was curry Yong Tau Foo, laksa curry base with yellow noodles and the actual Yong Tau Foo itself, deep fried, sorry not deep fried, fish paste filled vegetables and tofu. I love this. I have this not as often as I'd like, but I absolutely love it. And when I do, I go for the curry. It's silky, it's rich, it's spicy, it's got that real coconut hit as well. I absolutely love it. Chong, you had the soup version, didn't you?
Yes, I have the soup version with the kway and the bihun, which is separately from the soup. That is very nice, and I finished all, and this is my last bit.
So you've got your last bit of broth there as well.
It.
So Yong Tau Foo, we can have a few different ways. We can have it curry, we can have it dry with a side soup, we can have soup, and we can also have deep fried as well. Deep fried is another way we can have it, isn't it? Now, what we had today, the curry and the dry, that came to a total of $10. So it was $4.50 for the curry, $5.50 for the dry, So $10, that's roughly £6 in sterling. It's a great value, again, here at the coffee shops in Singapore. Thank you very much, Chang, for taking me today to the Yong Tau Foo store here. It was delicious as always. And stay tuned for the bonus footage, which is coming up next.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to Mako's Makan Adventure Drinks Review. So, I like coffee and I like lager. So I was intrigued when I saw Chang espresso lager. Now I haven't tried this before, so this review is going to be, well, as I find it. So first off, Chang lager, well known, and they've combined espresso, which is from the coffee beans here from Thailand, Laos and Vietnam. So let's give it a go. You'll notice I have a traditional English or British half pint dimple. And straight off, I get a whiff of coffee, but also a whiff of lager. And you can hear the thunder is coming in. So initially, on looking at it, it looks a bit like an amber lager, or maybe even a craft beer, or an ale. Not quite what you would see when you have a coffee flavoured stout or anything like that. So yeah, like an amber lager or an ale. Anyway, bottoms up, let's give it a go. So there's a slight hint of coffee. Does it taste like Chang beer? Maybe a little. Does it taste like coffee? Maybe a little. I'd say it's kind of halfway between the two. There's certainly that coffee aftertaste so as you get a mouthful, you've got that bitter coffee taste that comes through. But as I said before, it's got more of that amber lager kind of taste coming through, you know, that you would possibly find from a Sam Adams type of beer, or a Brooklyn lager. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad actually. It's better than I was hoping. I mean, if it was a black lager, I suppose you kind of expect the coffee flavours to come through, but not necessarily on a lager like this. So it's got a bit of a pale lager taste really, but yeah, there is that richness of the coffee that's almost coming through. So, Chang espresso lager. It's a bit of a peculiar taste for me. Do I like it? Oh, I'm not really sure. I love coffee. I love lager. It's not quite either. I suppose as a flavoured beer, yeah, it's a bit different. But yeah, I don't know if I like it. So I don't really know if this review is actually much use. But go out, buy it, give it a go. Let me know what you think. Thanks a lot.